So I'm going to start like this, and then I'm going to look in the mirror. And start building. I could use a little bit more explosion here. I'm going to move this up a little. Is it okay to move this up? I'm going to move it up. It's a little bit wobbly. Some more nerines. So this is going to be the center. Do you think this is better to have in the center or some leaves? Probably. Yeah. I'll take some of this out. The sage smells so good. Maybe they'll come up with a way for us to be able to smell through the screen one of these days. I'm going to use a little bit of this for some color and texture right next to the flowers. This is geranium.
Oh, great.
A little bit of sage. And here we have kind of a center, but mainly with these in focus. I want to add a little bit more of this nerine to add the fluff. And now I'm starting to build it.
So while Kiana's doing this, I think the students can start piecing this together themselves, give it a shot. Now I know that you guys don't have the mirror right there, but you can kind of piece it together, and Kiana will definitely let you know how you're doing. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
How do you determine the size of the bouquet? Does it depend on sort of the guidance from the bride, or is that an organic process as well until you feel that it's
a little bit of both. Some brides don't want too big of a bouquet, and some really do. They want it to be just all over the place. I like it somewhere in the middle. So today, since we don't have a bride, I'm just gonna go until I decide it's time to stop.
Okay.
Yeah, and the students feel free to stand up, get comfortable, do whatever works for you so you can arrange the flowers.
And it's important to always pick the best blooms, right? Like this looks so pretty. You better believe I'm gonna use it in my bouquet. And the way I think of this is, so I'm looking at it in the mirror, and I'm gonna pick these leaves that are not going to be inside the bouquet. And then I'm going to look at it and say, well, I'm kind of building my asymmetry already. You can see that this is already asymmetric, right? And I'm just going to build upon this more and more. Add a little bit more right here.
And when you build on that asymmetry, you're mostly using the blooms and the color. Is that what you're doing?
Yes. And some leaves, like for example, this is going to be used again. I'm going to use the sage to accentuate my asymmetry, like this. I want some Dusty Miller in here.
Now, did this vision sort of come to you when you were in the preparation stage, or is this just from looking in the mirror?
This is just from looking in the mirror and what I think would look good.
Okay.
I'm going to do this and see how this looks. I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to add it. Sometimes don't be afraid to take things in and out. You can put something in. If you don't like the way it looks, then you could remove it. That's the beauty of being in charge of your bouquet.
So we had a question come in here about the focal flower. Now, Mad Lizzie wants to know, do you pick a focal flower from the beginning, or do you just sort of determine which flower would look best as you're arranging?
Well, focal flower should be the flower that is the most beautiful in your eye. And to me, actually, my focal flower, and you'll see that in the end, it's going to be the peony, these peonies.
Okay.
But the rose is so beautiful to start with. I don't like to start with the peonies because they're so big that you kind of want to, it's going to be the last thing that you add to your bouquet. You want to build the bouquet and then see where it could, host this big, beautiful flower.